Thank you. I knew I'd forget that. We are really excited to show you guys some tips and tricks about how to make your meals bigger. And then, of course, some of those dishes that are already making quite a massive amount. So please, as I said, keep those questions coming in the chat box tonight because we would love to answer them. Tonight is the last chance to get your hands on that second bowl host reward. It is ending at 11 a.m. tomorrow. So thank you so much to anybody that brought along some guests tonight. And your consultant will be in touch afterwards to sort out your bowl host reward or whichever host reward it is that you are after. So thank you again. All right, so we are going to get straight into it and we are going to jump over to Nat and she's going to introduce herself and get cooking.
Hi everyone, my name's Natalie. My socials is a Thermomixing dietitian. I have been a Thermomix consultant now for a year and a Thermomix owner for about 10 years. So I had the 31 and then moved over to the 6 a couple of years ago and have not regretted it since. I'm from the Gold Coast in Queensland and I joined the Thermomix team because obviously I love cooking and I love showing people how quick and easy it can be to just eat nutritious food, which limits the amount of preservatives and additives in their diet. So I've seen a lot of struggles that people go through in getting meals on their bench in a short amount of time, running through the door from work, got young kids, things like that, making it difficult. And I feel like the Thermomix just makes people's lives so much easier. So that's why I joined the team and haven't regretted that either. So I'm going to kick it off and I'm going to make chicken and spinach enchiladas tonight. So I am going to put in 2 garlic cloves. I'd love to know if anyone has made the chicken and spinach enchiladas in the Thermomix. There's lots of variations there, lots of different options. So now I'm going to add 20 grams of extra virgin olive oil. A little bit over, but that's okay. Insert measuring cup and lid. Press next. 3 seconds on speed 7. So that's just going to grate up my garlic. Grate up the garlic. You know what? I've just realized, sorry, Charles, can you hold that? It started me at the wrong step. I've just like, what is going on? Sorry, bear with me, guys. I have just completely started a wrong step. I'm just going to put that bowl aside. This is the benefit of the second bowl. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just going to put my other bowl on. All right. Sorry, take it back a step. I'm going to add 100 grams of mozzarella, and I'm going to come back to that step. 100 grams of mozzarella. And I've just cubed that up. Press next. 50 grams of Parmesan cheese. I've just got that cubed. Press next, insert measuring cup and lid, 5 seconds on speed 7. Sorry about the confusion there, guys. Alrighty, so that has grated that all up for me there, and I'll show you that. So if you, it's really important that you buy like whole blocks of cheese rather than, buying the shredded stuff, as it does have raising agents in them. So it's really great if you can buy just a block and grate it yourself, much better. And as you can see, it's just such a short amount of time to get that done. 130 grams of marinated artichoke hearts. I've just got them in the jar there like that. And I'm going to put, it's 130 grams. Okay. It's a little bit short, but that's okay. I wasn't going to buy 2 jars. Pop the lid back on, press next, 5 seconds on speed 3. So let's just mix that in there for me. And now it's just saying to transfer into a bowl and set aside. So I'm just going to pop that into a bowl. Okay. All right, it says to clean and dry mixing bowl. And then this is the step that I should have been doing now. So that was the garlic and the oil that has now been blitzed up. So I'm just popping my other bowl back on. And this is the benefit of having a second bowl, that you can just interchange whilst you're cooking. All righty, 3 seconds. All righty, now I'm going to add the 400 grams of chopped tomatoes. I just buy the cheapest brand. I find that that is absolutely fine. What's next? Just going to grab all my spices, bring them over here. So this is a really, I think it's a really quite a quick meal, and it does feed quite a lot of people. You can bulk this meal up by adding extra vegetables to the meal, or you can add extra chicken, just to give it that little bit of extra to feed those bigger families. Or if you're bringing a plate to somebody's home, you know, this is a great one for it. It's definitely a favorite. It says 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. So I'm not really a measurer, so I'll just tip a little bit in. Press next, some dried oregano. It says 1/4 teaspoon of dried oregano. I like oregano, so I'm going to put a little bit more. Press next, some cayenne pepper. I've just got some ground paprika, so I'm just going to add that instead. So I find that it's, you know, not so hot. Press next, and I won't put the extra chili powder. I'll leave that. Now it's asking me to place the varoma into position, so I'll show you that actually before. Got all the sauce in there. Pop that on top. I'm going to take my measuring cup out and place my varoma dish into position. So with my varoma, I have just got 500 grams of chicken, quite thinly sliced. I like to keep my chicken quite thinly sliced just because I feel like it cooks a lot better. And I don't know if anybody else is paranoid with chicken, but I am ultra paranoid with chicken. So I like to make sure that it is cooked perfectly. Okay, and season that with some salt and pepper. Be as generous as you like with this. You don't have to use any if you do not wish, but it does give it extra flavour, and I would recommend it. And press next. Now it's asking me to pop my varoma tray into position. So pop that on top there and weigh in some spinach. So I've just got my spinach, which I've washed, and I'm going to pop that up the top there. So I love this recipe as well because not only does it feed a big family, but it also uses layered cooking. So you're using your bowl and your varoma dish as well. So you're using the heat from the bottom to cook what's in the top. Okay. I'll put all of that in. Next. And I'm going to pop my varoma lid on top. And now that is going to cook for 14 minutes. While that's cooking, I'm just going to give this chicken a stir midway through, about 7-minute mark, and then you'll come back to me.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Nat. I love that recipe, and I love how you said, you know, so easy to bulk that up with extra meat using the varoma. Some of the perks of the varoma, you really can load that up with whatever you like in there. So awesome. Thank you, Nat. And we are going to jump over to Ash, and she's going to introduce herself and show us what she's making tonight.
Hello, everyone. I am Ashley, and I am making a chicken Caesar pasta salad. I am new to the consulting side of Thermomix. I just absolutely love my TM6, so decided to jump on board. And I think I had my TM5. I've had 7 years before transferring over to the TM6. So been using it a little while, but the TM6 has definitely been a game changer for me. I live in Perth. My husband's FIFO, so for me it's been just, it makes hands-free cooking really easy, gives me extra time. So we'll get started. Okay, so place a jug onto the mixing bowl lid and way into the jug of olive oil, which I have actually already done. So Parmesan cheese is going in, cubed, and a garlic clove, which I have in there. I'm actually going to be able to blitz this. So just turn that speed dial, 10 seconds. So the Parmesan cheese, you haven't had to buy the packet stuff, which has all the anti-cake agents in it. Really quickly, 10 seconds, and we have beautifully grated and minced garlic ready for our dressing. It's saying to insert the butterfly. So putting that in. 3 anchovy fillets. I mean, if you don't like it, you could easily leave it out, but I think it definitely is. It's better with anchovy. You don't really taste it. 50 grams of mayonnaise. I've actually added the Dijon mustard that's coming as well. Now, I made my own mayonnaise. You can use shop bought. Again, I know what's in my mayonnaise. And it's a great money saver, making your own mayonnaise. It's really easy with Thermomix. And again, you know exactly what is in it. 20 grams of lemon juice. We've had the Dijon mustard already in there. We're going to insert the lid. Now, we're mixing that dressing. It's actually going to start asking us very soon to start pouring the oil in. Now, this lid has tiny holes in it, so we can actually let it drizzle in without having to pour it in and run the risk of it splitting. So that's a good handy tip with the Thermomix as well, to be able to push it down with the spatula. Has anyone made this one before? Be interested to know. It's really good for entertaining. Good for barbecue, picnic. I would just dress it when you get there. Don't dress it first. It just keeps it fresher, I suppose, and stops it from wilting.
Ash, we've had a couple of people say in the chat box that they have made this and they love how many people it feeds. And now we're just having a bit of an anchovy debate. So lots of no anchovies. We've got to love anchovies. Someone says they're furry cat food, which I really liked. So general consensus is it's a no to anchovies in the chat box.
Fair enough. I have to admit, if it wasn't in a sauce or whatever, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't be having it on pizza or any of that jazz, that's for sure. We're going to slowly pour oil through the hole in the mixing bowl lid until combined. So, 1 minute. Slowly pouring.
So here we're utilising that amazing emulsifying function, which is, if you haven't noticed, you do have little bumps under your measuring cup, excuse me, under your measuring cup, which creates little like air holes almost. And what Ash is doing now, she's just helping to push that oil down, and that's trickling through those little holes under the measuring cup into the bowl. So her blades are spinning with those other ingredients, and then you've got that oil trickling down, which is going to create a really beautiful, creamy dressing. So in this example, she's making the Caesar dressing. Some other recipes that use the emulsifying function, like your mayonnaise, your garlic aiolis, things like that. Beautiful function, and it's super quick. Much quicker than trying to do it by hand. Sorry, Ash, we're just losing you a little bit there. I think your connection's a little bit unstable.
Sorry, we've got some weather here in Perth, so
that's okay.
It's not gonna better. Yeah, it stops it from splitting. I don't know how many times I've tried to make it myself, and it's just been an absolute disaster. So there we go. You can see there we've got a beautiful dressing ready to go. So next step, remove the butterfly whisk. Transfer into a bowl, cover with plastic wrap, and place into the refrigerator until ready to use. So I'm actually just going to take that off. Again, as Nat said, beauty of having 2 bowls. I'll put that in the fridge very soon while we get onto our next. We need 1,200 grams of boiling water, and we're actually going to be able to cook our pasta within the Thermomix. So we're going to be doing this layered cooking basically, so everything is cooked in the one machine, besides a little bit of bacon later, which again, you could actually use the high heat function of a TM6 to cook that bacon. I have done that before as well. Again, you don't have the mess on the stove, and just makes it much easier to clean. So, boiling water done. We're going to now add 300 grams of pasta. Again, you could bulk this up and make more if you like. If you wanted to make it for even more people, not a problem. Place for room in position and place 6 whole eggs. So, you've still got me there, Chelsea?
Yep, all good, thanks, Ash.
We've got the eggs down the bottom. I don't know if you can see that, plus a little bit of the chicken because I've actually added some more chicken to really bulk it up. Again, so easy like that to add extra chicken if you wish. I have also, I couldn't, in Perth, we still have a chicken shortage. I don't know why, but I was only able to get breast. It does ask for tenderloin, but same, you could use. Just going to add that lid on without the measuring cup, and we can place our faruma into position. You could also bulk this up with extra bacon. You could put some extra veg in there if you like. Completely up to you to make it much more versatile. So, season the chicken with salt and pepper, which I'll really quickly do. The anchovies are fairly salty, so I'll leave off too much of the salt. But again, that is completely up to you. Right, lid on. And for 9 minutes, it's actually going to cook that pasta. And then we'll come back to cooking the eggs and the chicken later.
Amazing. Thank you, Ash. Thank you for that. We will check back in with you shortly and see how you're going. Now we're going to jump over to Alicia, and she's going to introduce herself and show us what she's making tonight.
Hey everyone, my name is Alicia and I'm a Thermomix consultant in Victoria, so nice and local to the rest of us. I have been a consultant since March, so I'm quite a new machine owner and a new consultant. But my main reasons for coming on were because I seen the machine and I seen the value in the Thermomix itself, in how it can help our family become faster around meal times, as well as I have 2 small children. So it was a way that I was able to make food for them that I knew exactly how much sugar and things were going into their meals. Seeing as one of them now is coming up to kinder and starting to take more food with her to that, things were just getting hard to find lunchbox. So it's definitely helped us out there. So tonight I am making a vegetable chili, but I'm actually going to bulk it up tonight with some beef mince. So I'm going to show you a little trick on how to do that. But this one's full of vegetables. So if you did want to keep it vegetarian, you can bulk it up with other legumes and pulses or even other vegetables themselves. So mine's a really quick and easy one, and I've got everything already chopped up on my board. So it's just 2 cloves of garlic, 120 grams of onion cut into halves, chili, which I am skipping because we're actually going to have this for dinner tomorrow and nobody likes chili. And then you just chuck your lid on. And we're going to turn the speed over to number 7 to chop it all up. And that's all done. And we're just going to scrape down the sides with our spatula. We're going to add in some vegetable oils. So it's just, which sometimes that adds a little bit too much. So I just sort of go by eye. We've got some ground cumin. And that onion's getting to me. Does anybody else have trouble cutting onions? I've heard of so many hacks on how to get around it, and I've found nothing that works so far, but it always gets me. So we've got cumin, coriander seed, and some cinnamon. Salt. And some ground pepper. So the beauty of the Bardo cooking with the TM6, if any of you don't already own one, you can add and change ingredients whenever you like, and if you do not like something. So for us, it is the chili. This one's actually going to cook it now for me for 3 minutes. So we're just browning off the onion and the garlic in there, and the onion's still running. Yeah, so it's a really good waste meal. So if you are trying to get rid of vegetables that are in the fridge, there's literally so many vegetables in this one. So we've got a whole red capsicum, half a green capsicum, pumpkin, cauliflower, and zucchini. So you could add in eggplant if you wanted to. You could add in maybe some squash. There's also there's some black beans in this one to add an extra bit of fibre in there, but you could add some pulses if you wanted, or even some leg beans. I'm just going to chop my pumpkin up a little bit smaller because I've obviously missed a couple. But has anybody made this one before? Or any kind of chili? It's a really quick and easy one that sort of does it all itself. And this recipe is actually a layered recipe. So we're going to be using the Verona to do majority of our vegetables in. So 1.5 minutes to go. And you can see in the preview that our next step is going to be adding in 400 grams of tin tomatoes. So I've got myself prepared and I've got my tomatoes out and cracked open, ready to go, so that doesn't slow us down. But the 3 minutes that you're not here stirring across the frying pan like you normally would be if you were doing it that way. If you were getting home from work like most of us do, you could quickly chuck on a load of washing or clean the dishes from the morning before, or spend the 3 minutes just taking a chill.
We haven't had anybody saying that they're making chili at the moment, Alicia, so I'm interested to know if it's something that people aren't trying at home. I do like the chili con carne, and I also really love the vegetarian chili. So this is a vegetarian chili that you're making, but this is called the vegetable chili. The one that I like is made up of mainly beans. It's got like 4 different kinds of beans in it, and it's absolutely beautiful. Paula's just said she doesn't think my fussy husband and toddler would eat it, which is interesting.
I don't think Ryan would either.
I'm a bit like Alicia. I love making chili, but I leave the chilies out of chili. So I'm making a non-chili chili. It still tastes amazing though.
Kind of like a bolognese. So
yeah.
A Thermomix. My bolognese used to be full of vegetables to get rid of what we had left in the fridge. So for me, it was like, that, you know, even your cherry tomatoes that are going a bit soft, or some of your normal tomatoes are going a bit soft, chuck them straight in my bolognese. Anyway. So here's my little secret coming up. So we put the chopped tomatoes in. Now I've just got 200 grams of water. Get close. I love that the Thermomix is actually to the gram with all of its measurements. So it becomes a bit of a test to see who can get it right on with the measurements. So next, so it's telling us now to put the varoma on, which means that we're going to be steaming. So to utilize that, the steam that it's going to be creating for the varoma, I'm actually going to chuck my steaming basket in, and that's where I'm going to cook my mince that I'm bulking this recipe up for. So there's another really cool recipe that uses it this way called the chunky bolognese. So it actually steams the mince in this steamer, and that way the mince itself is kind of chunky. So that way you're not getting essentially a big pile of mush when you finished off. So chucked that in there. Wash my hands because I've touched the raw meat. Slot that down, pop the lid on, and then we're just going to chuck our varoma straight on. I got a question the other day from somebody asking how the varoma actually locks in, because they thought that they couldn't go to the next step without it locking in, but it doesn't actually. It just sits on top, so don't be scared about that one. Going to chuck our pumpkin in. And I haven't really measured this to the grams like it's suggested. So I've just done what looks like about 350 odd grams of pumpkin. So there's that. I'm going to chuck the cauliflower in. I've done it in sort of bigger florets because I don't like it to be too mushy. Next, I'm going to pop our tray back on top. And then we're going to go so we're going the capsicums, and the zucchinis. No, just the capsicums. I'm waiting for the zucchini. Might chuck them in the bottom actually. So I've done mine in circles. That was just me being a bit lazy with my chopping tonight instead of chopping them lengthways. Next, chucking our lid straight on. And that one's just going to steam for 15 minutes. So you guys will be back to me at the end once it's sort of all ready to go.
Awesome. Thank you, Alicia. So many great tips there. That was really fabulous. So thank you. I'm really excited to see this dish finished. We were just talking about, I do love a chili, and I love that you've got the big bits of veggies in this one. I haven't done one like that before, so really excited to see that. So thank you. We're going to head back over to Nat and see how our enchiladas are cooking.
Okay, perfect timing. I did cook my chicken for like 2 more minutes, but I think it probably would have been fine, but that's just me being me. So I'll show you that. So we've got the spinach is all cooked there, and the chicken is all cooked there. So it just says to set the varoma aside. So I'm just going to pop that over there for a minute. And hit next. So this is the sauce that's cooked down the bottom there. And as we were sort of talking, I was thinking you could even add, if you wanted to, some red kidney beans to the sauce to bulk that up as well. So transfer 1/3 of the tomato mixture into a jug. I'm just going to use that jug and put about 1/3 in there. Okay. And pop that back on. Add 60 grams of cream cheese. So I've just got my cream cheese like that. I'm going to tear my scales back to 0 and add in 60 grams of cream cheese. It's a little bit over, but that's okay. Press next. Add the cooked chicken. I'll just get my tongs. I'm going to pop my cooked chicken in here. Tip that all in. Press next, my cooked spinach. And press, oh, my screen's wet. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to use my apron to dry it. When your screen's wet, it doesn't click next. I'm just going to play tricks. Oh, great. I'm having a good run tonight. Oh. Okay, there we go. And half of the reserved cheese mix. Pop that in there. Press next, insert lid. Press next, 15 seconds on speed for reverse. So what this is going to do is actually shred my chicken. So the reverse function allows it to be shredded. If it was the other function using the blade, it would probably mush it up. So I'm going to go to speed 4 there for 15 seconds. Alrighty. And now we're going to pop the tortillas together. Show you what that looks like. That has shredded that all up beautifully and mixed all the spinach in. Alrighty, so now we're going to assemble the tortillas. Now, I made these tortillas this morning. If you haven't made them before, these are the flour tortillas and they are absolutely beautiful. Since making them at home, I have never bought them again. So for a pack of these at the supermarket, for a pack of the older El Paso ones, they're a pack of 6, but they're about $2.70 for a packet, which makes them about 45 cents a wrap. And with the Thermomix ones, you get about 11 and it comes to $1.80. So that's 15 cents a wrap, which is amazing. Not to mention also that store-bought ones have about 9 ingredients in them versus the 4 in the Thermo version. And what I love is like the store-bought ones have added sugars in them, they have vegetable oils in them, they have raising agents, and all sorts of other additives that they add to obviously preserve them in the packet for a long time, where you got your fresh fresh Thermomix ones that I just pop in a container and they last for about 3 to 4 days in the fridge. So if you haven't tried making your own, I would recommend that you do, because they are absolutely delicious and we will never go back to buying them again. So it's saying here to assemble, fill 6 tortillas or low carb wraps of choice with 2 tablespoons of the mixture. So I won't wrap them all for you guys, but I will show you a couple. So you put them in like so. I'll just grab this. So I'm going to wrap them up. And also I find that the homemade ones are so much more filling because there's just so much goodness in them. So you definitely get like bigger wraps. Okay, pop another one. I've just put some baking paper down into my tray here. It's just, I find it easier to clean up at the end. So I will wrap them all up, and then what I'll do is I'll add the sauce on top of them and add the melted cheese, and I will pop them in the oven for 15 minutes and they are done. So a really quick and easy meal. If you haven't tried it, I recommend you should, because you will not be disappointed.
Awesome, Nat. Thank you. Look forward to seeing those finished. This is a beautiful recipe. Love those wraps as well. Delicious, and really love hearing about all the different things in the store-bought ones versus homemade. So if you haven't made them, as Nat said, give it a crack because you won't regret it. We are going to jump over to Erin now, and she's going to introduce herself and tell us what she's making tonight.
Hi everyone, my name is Erin. I am Thermomix consultant based in Druin in Victoria. But yeah, obviously working online now, so helping people all over Australia, which is really cool. I joined, I think about 18 months ago now. I initially joined just to earn my Thermomix, my TM6, and then I was leaving. I planned to take my new Thermomix and go, but I have just loved every minute of it. I love you know, the friends we've made. I love the freebies, and yeah, just learning lots and sharing the love of Thermomix. So tonight I'm going to make a couple of sides. So just a few ideas of ways that we can bulk out meals, perhaps meals that aren't quite as big, or even just the ones we're making today. A couple of quick and easy sides that will help feed a crowd. So we're going to start with the pizza bianca. This one's really popular and really quick and easy. So if you haven't made it already, give it a go. So I've already got our oven heat preheating to 220. I've got a baking tray ready to go. And into our bowl, we're just going to pop our 2 garlic cloves, but I'm doing 3 because we always do more, right? 3 sprigs of fresh rosemary. So I've just got our rosemary in there. Next. And then we're going to pop the lid on. And then obviously we're just going to keep nexting through there. So we've got 4 seconds, and down the bottom it says turn the speed selector to 7. All right, we're going to next on past that. So this is just chopping that garlic and rosemary for us really quickly. So that's our first. Oh, the lighting's not fabulous for showing you. First chop. And then we're going to scrape down the sides. So we're just really pushing all that kind of garlic and rosemary that's on the sides of the bowl back down towards the blades. We're just going to hit next, and we're going to give it another quick chop. So another 4 seconds on speed 7. Next. And now it's just going to tell us to pop that in a bowl and put that to the side. So I'll try showing you again, but yeah, the lighting's not fabulous. So if I bring my bowl across, you'll be able to see as I push it out how well that's kind of, it's really not working for me, is it? Sorry, guys. So it's really just chopped that garlic and rosemary down finely. We're going to hit next. So we're just going to pop that to the side. There you go. You can see that a bit better, that it's chopped. We don't need to clean our bowl for this recipe. We've got a little bit of garlic and rosemary left in it, but that's just going to go through the dough now, and that will be tasty in itself. So we can leave that in there and not stress about that. Make sure our scales are tare, and 220 grams of water. Next, should I go too far? No. A teaspoon of raw sugar. I just skip that. So it says optional, so I can leave it out myself. 2 teaspoons of yeast. Next, and then we're going to pop the lid on again. Next, so now I've got 2 minutes, and it's setting it to 37 degrees and telling us to turn the speed selector to 1. So here we're just warming that water and yeast, taking it to that optimal temperature for the activation of our yeast. So at 37 degrees, we're going to get the best activation of the yeast and then the best results with our dough as well. So that's going to do that for us. I'm just going to grab my tray. So remember earlier on in the recipe, it mentioned that to line our baking tray with baking paper. I've got one of our rose gold trays. These are available from the mix shop. And they've got a silicone liner that goes with them. So this kind of negates the need for any baking paper. Will save you lots of money in the long run having these. So yeah, I'm going to use that for us tonight. So easy to clean as well. They're really fantastic products. You can get a whole set of these from the mix shop. I actually just entered a new set of the liners and the trays. Was one of our incentives, I think the month before last. So yeah, we get lots of amazing incentives. Like I said before, it's one of the things that's kept me going, being part of the team, to be honest. I love my freebies and love some of the amazing products we get from the mix shop. So yeah.
Couldn't agree more, Erin. I'm still here 3 years later, mainly for the incentives too. Erin and I are both very incentive driven, and lucky they just keep.
You can see my pretty black Thermomix in the background there, guys. That was an incentive earlier this year as well. It really is amazing. If anybody's ever thought about joining the team, I tell you what, the incentives are worth every minute. So we've got about 20 seconds left to go on that. And then I'm just going to grab my big bucket of baker's flour. Do lots of bread products and lots of baking. Thermomix is so great for making all kinds of bread products. So I buy my baker's flour in bulk. Sorry, so 400 grams of baker's flour. Next, 30 grams of olive oil. A teaspoon of salt. I'm going to pop the lid back on. Next, and then we've got 2 minutes of kneading time. I'll just add one other a tip Chelsea shared with me actually is the recipe at the end when we spread our garlic and rosemary mixture on it, then add some olive oil. So if we add our olive oil now, it infuses nicely into that garlic and rosemary mixture. So we can do that now and let it infuse while we're doing the rest. Can you hear me all right over the kneading, Chelsea?
We can actually.
Oh, that's good. So that's pretty much after this kneading 2 minutes here. This is pretty much the recipe, the Thermomix part of the recipe done. It's then we leave it to rest for 15 minutes, and then we make our pizzas. So yeah, obviously we can be doing anything with our time now. Again, like Alicia said before, it's a hands-free time with your Thermomix that really makes all the difference. 2 minutes of kneading in our Thermomix is equivalent to about 20 minutes of hand kneading. So instead of, I'm not even doing anything now for this 2 minutes, but I could be doing 20 minutes of hand kneading. I'd tell you I wouldn't be, but yeah. I'm just going to grab out
Erin, we've just had somebody ask if you could double this recipe in the bowl to feed a crowd. So I'll just answer that one. So unfortunately, you can't double. I might just, where are you, Erin? I might just, can you mute yourself for a sec, Erin?
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you. So Kate has just asked if you could double this recipe in the bowl to feed a crowd. So you can't double the pizza dough recipe because it is too much for the blades to handle. I tried it once and learned the hard way that it's not possible. The bottom half was needed and the top half was just flour. So you can 1.5 this recipe. So I've done 600 grams of flour, but 800 grams of flour is too much for it. But as you can see, it does only take 4 minutes. So you've got 2 minutes of your warming and 2 minutes of your kneading. So in 4 minutes, it is quite simple to just do another batch straight afterwards, which is what I would normally do. And then that's going to get you kind of like 6 to 8 pizzas, depending on what size you make them. Take it away, Erin.
Better unmute. Yeah, that's the same. I just do another batch really quickly. It's so quick. So that there is our dough all kneaded. So then obviously if we keep stepping through on our Thermomix, we've got it transferred to a silicone mat and divide into halves. I haven't divided it, but I'll just tilt my screen a little bit. I've got ours, here's one I prepared earlier. It's been resting a little bit longer than our 15 minutes. But I've just wrapped it up in our Thermomat. The Thermomats are available as a host reward. So for anyone that's brought a friend tonight that isn't keen on getting the bowl, you can grab the Thermomats. But they're available anytime as well. So if you're getting the bowl tonight, you can come to another virtual or host your own and pick up the Thermomat bundle. So we can keep nexting through and it'll tell us exactly what to do. So we're going to divide our dough in half. You can leave it whole if you want. You can divide it smaller again if you want. It's completely up to you. This is obviously, remember, guided cooking is just a guide. So you can really essentially do whatever you want to make it suit you. So I've left it for our 15 minutes because we're using a new batch, like a batch I prepared earlier. And using our hands, we're just going to press out one of the balls into that pre-prepared tray. So I literally just stretch and pull it, and then you can press it a little bit on your tray. You can, I don't know if you can see on the screen, but it does have some flecks of rosemary through it. I'm sure there's garlic there too, but you can't see it as well. So yeah, like I said before, completely okay because it just adds to the flavour. It's lovely. Then we're going to hit next, and then we're going to sprinkle dough with half of that reserved garlic and rosemary mixture. Let's get the spoon out. So we're just going to just pour half of it on, and then I'm just going to use my hand just to spread it around a bit. And then you're going to add a little bit of salt. And if we keep stepping through, and then it says to drizzle a bit with extra olive oil again, but obviously we're just going to skip that step because we added it to our rosemary and garlic instead. So then we're going to pop that in the oven for 10 to 20 minutes or until lightly golden. So I'll just whack that in there. And then I'm going to move straight on to a quick salad. Oops, sorry. So I'll just move that out of the way. So this is where you need a second bowl, guys. It just makes everything, especially when you're feeding a crowd and you want to make a couple of things really quickly, makes everything so much easier. So I've got my second bowl ready to go, and I'm just going to next out of that and back to our home screen. So I'm going to go into my week again. So if you haven't got a second bowl and you don't have guests on tonight and you would like one, another really great way, like I said before, is to join the team and earn one. So you can actually earn a second bowl in your first 60 days as a consultant. So I'm really about the freebies, guys, if you haven't already noticed. I'm going to start cooking. We're making the broccoli and red pepper salad with pine nuts. So has anyone made this one before? It's one of my favourite salads. It's so quick and so tasty. I was a bit unsure to start with the raw broccoli, but it's amazing. So we're just going to put 300 grams of broccoli in. So it's just kind of roughly chopped. Next, one red capsicum. So it says approximately 150 grams cut into pieces. So obviously you can just pop your full red capsicum in, but you can also measure it at any stage in any recipe. If you want to access your scales, all you have to do is press the three little dots next to the next button. So if I press those, I've got a couple of options. I can open the preview. It says recipe detail. So that would take us back to the recipe page where we could scroll through the whole thing if we wanted to. Scales and cancel recipe. So I can bring up my scales there if I want to. Normally I would just chuck a whole capsicum in, but I just thought I'd show you that in case anyone wasn't aware that it was there. And oh, look at that, very close to 150 grams on that capsicum. So, and then we just press the cross to go back to our recipe. So cancel out of that and we're back where we were. So then we can just press next again. We're going to pop an apple in. So an apple that's just quartered. Next. We've got 30 grams of pine nuts or sunflower seeds. I love pine nuts, so I put those in. So have people made this salad before, or do you have a different favourite salad that you like to make? 25 grams of olive oil.
We've had a couple of people say they've made this one before. Bea says it's her most favourite salad. Maria says she hasn't, but it sounds delicious.
Yeah, give it a go. I'm a little bit less on the olive oil there, but that's all right. So 15 grams of fruit vinegar. I just use apple cider vinegar for this. It's a good substitute. So again, like anything, you don't need to buy those ingredients that you might not use all the time. There's always a good substitute available. Just Google it. A teaspoon of honey. Another one that's like this one that's just delicious is the traffic light salad. If anyone's tried that one before. There's some really great salad recipes that are so quick and so impressive to make. Great for barbecues when you're hosting guests, that kind of thing. 1.5 teaspoons of mustard. Next, a teaspoon of salt. Next, a bit of black pepper. And then we're popping the lid on. So that's got all of those ingredients. I'm going to show you quickly. Just all of them thrown straight in there. So we haven't had any other steps so far. I'm going to hit next. And then we've got 5 seconds set on there to speed 4. Next again. And that's it. So we'll have a look, and we can, if you want to, you can give it another quick chop if you feel like you might like it a bit more chopped up. I think I would like it slightly more. So I'm going to go, you can always use your back button. So when you're cooking anything, if you're cooking something with hidden veg or something with your kids, and you want to hide it a bit more, just use your back button. And then you can always adjust the time as well. So make that your big circle. I'm just going to add 2 more seconds. And then turn that speed to 4 again. So again, it's just a guide. So do it to how you like it. That's perfect. So that, making it fall out, that's our salad. And I'm just going to pop it in our round thermo server. So again, these are available as a host reward, whether tonight or another time. And great for serving. They're great for keeping your food hot and cold, obviously, but then they're perfect for just putting straight on the table. And that's it, guys. That's our salad and our pizza bianca done in, I don't even know how long that was. Wasn't very long at all, was it?
Not long at all. Such great side dishes. You know, you could have that pizza rising while your main dish is cooking, or, you know, you could be serving up your main dish and chopping your salad at the same time. That looks so amazing, Erin.
Absolutely.
I love how quick and easy those dishes were. Thank you so much for showing us. For those of you that don't know Erin has 3-month-old twins, so as well as 3 other older kids. So this is Erin's first cooking class back tonight. And massive thank you for putting yourself out there and doing this. I did hear one of the babies for a minute there. I thought you were going to have to leave us, but
right, Andrew was on it.
yeah, awesome. Good job, Andrew. Thank you so much for showing us those recipes tonight. We'll check back in afterwards to see the pizza once it's finished anyway. Amazing. Thank you, Erin. We're going to go back over to Ash and see how she's going.
Okay, brilliant. So since I left, we've boiled the eggs. We've managed to cook the chicken. I've actually cooked the rice and had it cooling down with the bacon. I've managed to fry that off. And we're just actually going to shred the chicken tonight. So it says to chop it or, you know, cut it into large pieces, but you can do it however you like. It's, you know, guided cooking. It's not set in stone. So I actually go back by pressing the home button and it bookmarks it for you. So you can leave the recipe and then come back. So I'm going to go 4 seconds purely because I had more chicken than the recipe stated. Remember to put your reverse on because I have made the mistake of not doing that and end up like mush. So it actually uses the blunt side of the blade, so it shreds it nicely. And we're going to go speed 4.5. Please tell me I'm not the only one that has put good first on a meal, because I've done it a couple of times now. I always forget. So I'll just check that, see if we're happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that. So as you can see, shredded beautifully there. And now it's just basically, I don't know whether you want me to go ahead, Chels.
Sorry, Ash, what was that?
Do you want me to go ahead and serve, even though it's a bit warm, or would you like me to wait?
That's totally up to you. We can come back to you in a few if you want to let it cool down.
Yeah, well, let's do that, just because it might wilt the
Yeah, perfect.
lettuce.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's super true. Love how quick and easy shredding that one is. So fabulous. Thank you. We will come back to you in a couple of minutes, let that cool down.
Yep.
And we will jump back over to Nat and see how our enchiladas are looking.
Okay, so the enchiladas are finished. It made 11 enchiladas and they're quite big, but I've just served this up and I've popped it with, Erin was mentioning the traffic light salad. So this is the, sorry, my fridge is still open. This is the alternative to sort of the broccoli salad. So it's made in the same way, but it's just got a few different ingredients. So I love this one. It is super, super quick, as you could see. And usually I make this one and bring it to a barbecue, or if we have it at home, we have it over a couple of days so that we don't have to, I do it so I don't have to make salad every single night. You know, it's already there and done. So there we have it, enchiladas with the 5-second traffic light salad and homemade tortillas.
That looks absolutely amazing, Nat. 11 enchiladas is fabulous. That's such a big dish that would feed a massive family. And as you said, really easy to add extra chicken to that because you are steaming that in the varoma, you know, a couple of extra tortillas and you could feed even more people. So fabulous. Thank you so much for cooking tonight, Nat. If you're not already, you can follow Nat at the Thermomixing Dietitian. I did pop it in the chat box earlier, but jump on Instagram and give her a follow. And thank you again, Nat. We shall see you next time. We're going to jump back over to Alicia.
Hey, so I've all finished with mine. Here's my mince that I've taken out in my bowl. So just to see what it looks like. It's infused all of the spices and things out of the tomato when we were steaming that. So that's all done. I just prolonged the time by 3 minutes for the actual chili itself. I probably cut my pumpkin a tiny bit too big and it just didn't quite steam well. But we are absolutely up to the max on my bowl. So it's full. Then you've got your 500 grams of beef mince as well, which you could easily fit up to 800 in that if you wanted to. So I'm just going to serve it up now in my bowl with a couple of homemade tortilla chips that I've made. It's just the same tortillas that Nat had done earlier, but I've just cut them up and I've baked them in the oven. So you can see all the beautiful vegetables that's in this alongside the sauce. This would feed so many people. I was actually thinking that maybe I could serve this with rice tomorrow night, but I think we'll be freezing some of this and having it for a very long time. You can do your tortilla chips and serve with a little bit of sour cream and smashed avocado. So the avocado's got a lot of extra fibre and fats in there as well, so that's going to keep you just as full as everything that is in that. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think Shan's going to be happy with that for lunch tomorrow too.
Alicia, that looks absolutely amazing. That just looks so yum. I feel like that ticks all the boxes. You know, I'm sure it's packed full of flavour. You've got all those beautiful veggies. You've got your proteins. You've got your corn chips there. That is seriously like a 10 out of 10. And that one is going to feed a crowd. Your family's going to be eating that for a while now.
Yeah. Like, and if you didn't like beans, you can swap it out for like maybe chickpeas or lentils or something, you know, just to add that extra bit of fullness to it. But really, if you're adding the meat to it, I really don't think you're going to. Like, it makes a lot. Like, we're at the max level here.
Yeah. That's amazing. No, I really love that dish. And thank you. I hope you guys picked up some tips from Alicia about how easy it is to add different things to your recipes to make them bigger, you know, just by adding that meat into that vegetarian dish. Or if you are a vegetarian, you know, just loading that up with even extra veggies, or as Alicia said, serving with rice, all those different things. So thank you so much, Alicia. We love when you cook with us. You can follow Alicia at If.I.only.had.a.thermo. Which one? There we go. If I only had a thermo on Instagram as well. And thank you again, Alicia, and we will see you soon. Erin, how are you going? Is that pizza out of our oven? Not yet? That's okay. That's fine.
Not quite, sorry.
That's okay. We'll go back to Ash and see how she's doing. She can plate up her dish.
Beautiful. So yeah, we can plate it up. I have, it says add 1 to 2 spring onions, shallots cut into pieces, 8 to 12 lettuce leaves. Again, you could make that a lot bigger. That's clearly more than 8 to 12 lettuce leaves. And we really like onion, but again, you could change that out to other veg, add some, bulk it up with, I don't know, tomato, capsicum, whatever. I guess it's not quite a Caesar, traditional Caesar, but still perfectly fine. So adding those in, quartered eggs. So I'll just put this here. Now, you can obviously, this one had it in the broma, but the TM6 is so amazing that you can actually boil your eggs with the egg boiling mode and choose how you like your eggs. So for me, this is perfect, but you can, if you want them harder or you want them softer, by all means, you can do that with the egg boiling mode, which is brilliant. So I'll add those on. Again, you could bulk up the protein, whether it be the eggs, whether it be the bacon, the chicken, or all. It's really limitless. You just might need to cook a little bit longer. If you had obviously some more chicken, which I did, I just put 3 minutes. So it's just a matter of finding what suits you and going from there. So I'm going to add those on. I'll just add these last couple of bits on. Our pasta and our bacon. I actually don't know if my bowl's even going to be big enough. That's how much it's making. Chicken. This really is loaded. I'll see if I can actually stir this.
How amazing is that? That has made so much, she can't even stir it in her bowl.
It's ridiculous. Next time, yeah, I definitely would mix it all together, then put your eggs on top for presentation mode. But seeing as we're all eating it, the kids are going to eat it later, tomorrow. I don't really care about presentation, but by all means, suit yourself. You've got your shaved parmesan. And we have our dressing, which I don't know whether you want me to dress that as well, but we have our beautiful dressing from before as well that you can see is nice and thick, perfect consistency. I'll just drizzle it on top and then I will attempt to stir that around later. But there you have it. This is a Caesar pasta salad and it would certainly feed a crowd. Perfect for entertaining and also for larger families.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ash. This dish is a favourite in our house, even for the fussy kids. That sauce is so creamy and beautiful, and you can see how much that made. So it's an awesome dish if you do have a really large family, when you're entertaining, if you need to take a dish somewhere. You saw that was all done in the thermo, which is just incredible. So thank you so much, Ash, for cooking for us tonight. This is Ash's first time helping us out in a cooking class. Ash does live over in Perth and has only been part of our team for a few weeks now, so a huge thank you to her. And with the time difference as well, this is a tricky time of night for her to be in the kitchen cooking with us, so we really appreciate you helping out tonight. If you're not already, you can follow Ash on Instagram, and she is called That Thermomixing Life. Is that right? Did I say that right? Yeah. Awesome. You can follow her on Instagram. Thank you so much, Ash. That was fabulous. Loved seeing that. Thank you. We'll just jump back over to Erin. Her pizza is ready.
No worries.
Yep, so our pizza bianca is out of the oven. I'll just lift it up a little bit. So remember, this is only half of the dough as well. So the other half's in cooking now. I just only did half at a time just to make it quicker for the virtual. But yeah, a really great, quick and easy side just to bulk out a meal if you have guests over or you've got a big family. Pizza bianca is a great option. It's also a really great dough for doing anything else with. You can make it, like Chelsea did the other day, into scrolls. You can make it into just about anything. It's a really good basic dough recipe as well. If you could make other mini pizzas, other flavors as well. Lots of options. So we've got pizza bianca and our I was just going to see if I can. Yeah, there you go. Our broccoli salad there. Probably what was that, about 10 minutes, I reckon, for both of those. So great side dish options.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Erin, for cooking those for us tonight. Loved seeing some really quick, easy sides as well. So, if you do want to make a smaller dish that you do want to bulk out, here's another great way to do it by adding a really, really quick, simple side as well. So, and a huge thank you to Erin. As I said, we love that you're working around your babies. We really appreciate you helping us out. And if you're not, you can follow Erin on Instagram and Facebook. She's thermo_loving_mum. Well, that is all of our dishes done for tonight. So a huge thank you to everybody who came along, and an even bigger thank you to the girls for cooking tonight. We don't get paid to put on these cooking classes. We do it just to support you guys in your Thermomix journey. So a massive thank you to my team for cooking tonight, and a huge thank you to each of you for coming along. Again, thank you so much to those people that brought some friends along to get their host award. So please reach out to your consultant after the class so they can organise that for you. And if you are wanting to get your hands on a host award, please let one of the girls know on Instagram if you don't have a consultant, and they would love to help you out. I would love if you guys could pop in the chat box and let us know which was your favourite dish tonight, which is the first thing you're going to be making. What did you love about the class? Anything at all, pop it in the chat and let us know. We love hearing your feedback. We will be back in a couple of weeks. We do run these classes about every 3 weeks. We've been thinking about a gluten-free class, if that's something that would interest everybody, or if you would like to see something different, pop it in the chat box now and let us know, or shoot one of the girls a message on social media, because we love hearing what you guys want. We want to make sure that you are getting the most out of these classes. So keep those comments coming in the chat, letting us know what your favourite dish was and what the first thing you'll be making, and any cooking classes that you would like to see in the future. If you would like any more information about joining our team, again, please reach out to one of the girls. They would absolutely love to have a chat with you. We do have the opportunity to earn one of the amazing Kobold vacuum and mop heads this month. As Erin and I both said, we are still here for the incentives. You can see I've got my incentive shelf behind me. This is stuff that I haven't kept. I haven't needed, purely because I've got it, I've already earned it, or I just don't have any room in my kitchen anymore. So this is becoming my incentive room. It is an incredible business, and we're so lucky to be given so many opportunities and amazing things. So if you would like to find out more, please let the girls know. They would love to chat to you and answer any questions that you might have. Thank you again for coming along tonight, guys. We love seeing you, and we hope you learned something new and really enjoyed our class, and we look forward to seeing you at the next one. Good night, everybody.